The following is an MTV Cribs special presentation.
That's my jam.
What do you say? It's a big front yard, probably about, I guess, 7 acres, right? I don't cook, but Jackie does, and she has, I guess she liked cooking before this house, but I feel like she's upped her game. Like, you'd given her some nice equipment. Oh, this will take a while to show, but it's cool.
Oh.
What? Okay, take my word for it. There's a grill under here, and she grills things on it. This thing here, I hope Jackie doesn't mind me making a small mess, but you can fill pots right over the stove, which I think.
I did not you making a mess.
Okay.
Tell them a lot of stuff before you're beginning, because I got to put the camera down again.
2 sinks, one right by Jackie there, and one over here. No idea why there's a fireplace here. This is the changing room. You're not coming in here because we didn't clean it, but it is the master closet. And I like that mirror. This is the master bedroom. To the TV, it does this, which is neat. So anyway, I guess the dream version of this home, this porch would continue out there and connect to the porch by the southern sunroom, but in reality it stops here.
It got the little cruiser, the 4x4.
Parking lots, wheelies, jumping off curbs. You know, sometimes the parking lots are different levels, and there's like grass that with a steep incline. Take the rental car to an area like that, fuck about, and you're not off-roading.
Yeah, I remember they like. Because car rental companies are like anal as shit about like they have whole routines when you join companies where they're like, and I know Hertz did it, Enterprise, all of them, where it's like when you return a car, you have to do this minute-long, exploring like, ooh, look here and then look here and then do this and that and check this. 3 months into that airport gig, so I'd been with the company for like 9 months at that point, I'd see it pull up, and as long as it like looked all right, I'm like. Thumbs up, like get going. And then like every once in a while I would miss something and it'd come back and they'd be like, there's a huge puncture wound in the back of this Kia Soul. And I'd be like, man, I can't believe whoever rented that most recently accidentally sent a broken car out. How embarrassing. But like there's so much turnover at those places because
you blame it on someone else.
You blame it on someone else renting out the car damaged. Because then there is no way to know. That car could have been damaged prior to that rental.
So you
clearly,
said what I said, but
before
with
the
more
rental
words.
before.
You blamed it on someone else.
Yes, of course. Yes, yes, always. And it's a nondescript person. I'm not saying Amy rented this out and she fucked up. I'm like, must have been.
But aren't there records?
Yeah, there are. But I'm the one who's gonna. I'm the one who's gonna check it. And if I found out that I rented it last, I'm just not gonna mention it. You know what I would actually do? I would call up another branch and I go, hey, this is Boise Airport. And they're like, oh, there's 3647 or the number is. I'm like, hey, let's do a trade. I got a broken Kia Soul. I know you need something. You can still roll it. It'll be fine. Send me anything that's not damaged. And then just ship out the damaged car to a Home City branch where people who with insurance claims go, and I get a nice fresh new car at the airport.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's how it works. But I was the fastest ticket rider in the West in the last of my tenure. My sales in the back room, the last like 4 months I was there, it was wild. It was like a guy who's just about to get kicked out of the league in the pros, where it's like everyone else has their sales. It's like Taylor fucking like, and everybody's like tickets. Like Amy's written 78 contracts. Steve has written 92. At the very bottom, Taylor, 510 goose eggs. Cross the board, like to the point, because I knew I wasn't getting commission for it because they set the commission structure so high that it was like okay, so I need to sell 20 grand of insurance so I get a pizza party? Like, fuck you. I'm not doing that shit. And so I'd have people come up and be like, I've heard the horror stories of the insurance stuff. I have insurance. And I'm like, does it cover rental cars? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, did you specifically opt out of anything like that? She's like, no. I'm like, you're fine. Do you have liability only insurance? No. Comprehensive? We're going, lady. Like, let's get you moving. Yeah, there's so much shady nonsense, but I guess that's every sales job, right? Or at least most of them.
I usually get the insurance because a lot of times we're doing silly things with cars, and I do have to go off road in them a little bit. Like, all right, because here's the thing: if we're like filming something, and we may not intend,
you should get the insurance for what you were doing. Yeah,
but also there might be an instance where it's like, all right, well, we need somebody to drive out in that field right now. Well, are we going to be Nancy boys about it and call for somebody, a real man, to come help us, or are we going to drive on that fucking field and get work done today? And it's just like, we're going to drive on that fucking field. I'll crawl back before I ask for help. like we're going to get it done. So I always just got the insurance anyway. And plus, I wouldn't say I'm abusive on the car, but like there is that thing in your head that's like, this shit ain't mine.
Oh yeah. Oh, like I would never have like turned my cars, like my personal vehicles, as aggressively as I turned like these brand new at the time, like 2013 Nissans or vans, or you would not believe, because the ass of a Honda Odyssey is so heavy. You wouldn't think it would be that great in a gravel patch for whipping around, but you get yourself and a couple of the car preps who have meth problems. You have a huge amount of fun out there on an afternoon. It's great. It's great. And then you come back and the manager's like, where were you? And you have to be like, handling stuff with all those goofballs doing meth down at the car cleaning area. They're like, yeah, I know how it is. It's like, you don't know how it is. You never go down there to converse with those maniacs. That's how I knew that I could use them as an excuse. You're never going to ask them. Dude, the people who clean cars at those places, some of them were horrifying.
Same at car dealership. Like those guys were their own little crew over there.
They were thieves. They were like straight up thieves. Like one guy got fired because stealing iPads and computers from like people would return their car, and then 4 minutes later, hey, I forgot my new MacBook Pro in the back of the car. And I'm like, oh no. And so then I go down another minute to the wash bay, and I'm like, guys, please don't fuck me here. Please. MacBook Pro, I know you have it. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, there was nothing in this car. I mean, does she have proof that she even had a MacBook Pro? And I'm like, could you guys please? Like, and then I have to go back up there and be like, they did not find a MacBook Pro in the vehicle. And they're like, well, it's obviously not true. And I'm like, oh no. Like, I know you should call corporate and complain about these fucking thieves who do nothing but except low grade meth and steal down there. They're like about to clean a car.
They don't even have good meth.
They don't have good meth.
You're supposed to lean into that one.
I mean, I could tell who had the best meth, because one guy, I bet he was 20. I bet he was 22. Like, he was my age at the time. And he maybe 4 teeth, maybe total of 4.
You know, it is so. Correct me if I'm wrong. I always heard that the reason those meth addicts lost their teeth was because the chemicals of doing the meth was like corroding the teeth away in some manner. Is that it, or is it that they are so out of it when they get to an extreme level of meth use that oral hygiene isn't?
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I used to think the chemical thing too, and then someone told me like, no, it's because they're so geeked out or gacked out that like they don't take care of their teeth. They don't look at them at that. Like, they don't even like wipe the blood from their face when they cut themselves. Like, they have nothing on their mind other than more meth all the time. And so they just neglect all. That's why they all in their mug shots, it's all like picked skin with scabs, no teeth, hair that hasn't been cut in years.
The extensive tooth decay, the answer is both, is likely caused by a combination of drug-induced psychological and physiological changes resulting in dry mouth and long periods of poor oral hygiene. Methamphetamine itself is also acidic. So
that makes sense. Yeah, if people don't realize, like dry mouth fucks your teeth up and your tongue up and your breath up, like really bad.
I don't have that issue.
I don't have dry mouth either, but I know that it's really like.
Would you rather?
My dentist.
Would you rather have dry mouth or wet mouth?
Oh, wet mouth.
Wet mouth means that you're going to need a bib.
I'm just gonna pretend that I dip and just all the time.
It's a binary decision. You always look like you just ate 5 warheads because your mouth is so dry, and you've got that white stuff at the corners of your mouth, or you're always doing this because you're holding like a mouthful of spittle that you're always ready to.
Good God, this is a binary decision.
This is terrible. I might kill myself.
You take up tobacco chewing just to make it seem normal that you're always spitting.
I'm gonna go full Kyle here and just choose death. Are you telling me I lose an entire fingernail?
Yeah,
I'm hitting the reset button on life.
I'm definitely choosing the pretend to dip for the rest of my life because like you know how horrible like you wake up in the morning and you haven't drank water in however many hours. Like even that small amount of dry mouth sucks. Yeah. Imagine that all day, every day.
No,
voice would be so dry.
Maybe you could just get some honey and eucalyptus and some tea and.
Well, I didn't know we could fix it. I thought we.
Well, you gave up on yourself so fast, and I'm looking for solutions now.
Yeah, I'm already dead, and Kyle's like, maybe some tea.
Well, I mean, maybe y'all could have some eucalyptus tea.
If
and that fixes it. I don't know.
And guys write me all the time and ask how to get out of the friend zone.
It's on the internet, right?
Yeah, that's where they write me.
Yeah, but they want to get out of the friend zone. Oh, you mean with young ladies?
That's right.
Well, it's the difference between men and women. Men basically are on the prowl for females, and females are always honing their skills on how to attract men.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger they are, they want to attract them, but they don't know what to do with them when they get them. So it's a constant relationship battle for them that they're honing their skills, trying to draw the men nearer, and if they get too close when they're too young, then they sort of have to push back a little bit again. So it takes a while for both sides of the sexual equation to figure it out.
What about the older ones? What about the ones that are 17, 19 years old that should be dating? And you're in the friend zone in this situation. What do you...
if the gal is making you a friend rather than somebody more serious, then basically that relationship's not going anywhere. And what she's doing is she's lining up her reserve relationships so that she will never be without at your expense. So basically, if it's not going anywhere, the best thing you could do is go into friendlier seas, because there are a lot of young ladies out there who probably want to meet you.
So you want to toss her overboard, essentially?
Well, I would not want to continue to be a friend with somebody that I wanted to be more interested in, because I don't think it works. Because she keeps tantalizing you, you keep thinking it's coming closer to what you want, and then when she draws you in a little bit, she pushes you back off again.
Every so often, when you start to break away, she gives you that little that hint, that tease that things might be going better.
That's it.
And that's all a guy needs. She can string them along for years this way.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it keeps him from finding young ladies who would really truly be interested in him.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Don't say anything about the RSK though.
This.
When actually news.
Thank you. Daily.
What a story! Start snapping.
There's so many deer in our yard. There's the deer! Can you see all the deer in our yard? There's like 5 deer in our yard for some reason. I'm chasing the deer.
Can we even drive on this part of the yard?
Yeah.
Snow.
Get her drunk, take her to the back, put dick in her mouth, leave the front, don't unlock my knee, turn the radio, pull the car up into the yard, cleaning out the hole. You should.
This is the toilet. Pretty. Oh, this is silly. Every toilet in our house works like this. When you put the lid down, you just do that, and then it goes down on its own.